All right, let's check it out. Um, Super low strength on each chunk means that they try to go back to their position, but slowly, and damping is kind of high, so they're smooth. If I reduce damping, reduce strength, like they can go crazy, like no force at all right now. But I bring back the strength. And obviously, like really high strength introduces this kind of shakiness in it, which I like as like trouble. And when this happens, I can try to drag around the shape, but um, I won't get it really far from its origin. So at the moment, the camera is tied to whatever object I select. So this introduces a bit more dynamics in the scene and ensures that I kind of always look at what I'm grabbing. It also helps me get closer to what I'm grabbing, kind of. Um, and if the relative position to my anchor point is closer, well, it will like the camera will move way more. Let me focus on each element. All right, let's reduce the strength a bit. So lower strength and the camera being parented to the shape means that scenes can get really way more chaotic. Yeah, I like that. Um, and I can load some presets. Like previously, they were kind of randomly spread apart. Like now, it's like trying to shape itself and turn into a skull. I'll just reduce this camera thing a bit. Oh, wrong preset. Okay. All right. Oh, I expected this to be much slower, actually. Wow, it should be way slower right now. Okay. I can raise the damping and so yeah, this skull is trying its best to take its shape right now, but because the strength is a bit too low, it tends to like collide and not be perfectly aligned. Obviously, me interacting shake things up and doesn't help, but it still tries to take its shape. But where, well, something that can be interesting is if I bump the strength up, then like it's so strong. Obviously, it's super shaky, but it's pretty close to the original, like the reference point. What's fun is I can the pivot that it's attached on, I can move it around and lowering the strength when I do so can lead to this kind of explosion and I can bring it back or maybe in between. And with low damping and a mouse, maybe I can really break it. And oh, I don't like that the pivot seems to be on top of its head. Like that doesn't really work right now. Anyway, this kind of motion seems really like forced and keyframed and manual. So I don't really like it. Doesn't showcase the physics as much. But like something like this, well, too fast, obviously, but this kind of stuff is interesting. Trying to tweak a front light, but it's like foggy. I don't like that. But I need some kind of front light sometimes. And I got this backlight that should be pinned to whatever object I grab. Can't really see it right now. Okay, I guess we see it on the floor right there. It's not looking good when we see it on the floor though. Yeah, and like obviously all of those collisions detected trigger events that have sounds, and that sound is also specialized. I just muted all the sound right now because they're not integrated properly. But yeah, it's a bit distracting right now. Like there are way too many of them. We don't really see what's going on. Also, I think what could be interesting is look at the collision I'm using. I've generated a multi-hole collision for each, so it's not using the complex mesh, but each chunk still have like a pretty tight and precise, like even in the concave areas, still precise enough. And I find that it works. Like I guess like this is not exactly the perfect skull. It has trouble like being perfect, but that's the whole point. Yeah, I think that's what makes it more interesting. And so right now, everything is tied to a single point, which is kind of in the face of the skull, like not exactly in the center, but it's around here, I believe. But what could be interesting is if each chunk were tied to other chunks and make like chains of chunks with various strength and have ways in which a few chunks together assemble properly and it looks like a skull, but the other ones are more chaotic. Also, I'd like to add some kind of system that in just yeah, I have something like that that introduces forces in the system in motion. But here I should, okay, so this is right now, this is picking one of the chunk that is visible in the screen at random with the mouse, and it drags it around slightly. So it's the first time I try it with this model, actually kind of works. It's just really unnatural the way it like teleports, drags, and then like drags super slowly. So I think I need to add some maybe it should slowly go towards the selected chunk and then drag it so we can follow the cursor a bit more. But triggering it a bunch leads to those like super popular Instagram aesthetics right now where a bunch of data and lines, like it's kind of over the top. It's fun, but like I'm reaching a point where it's kind of, I don't know. At least it's not just random data thrown over video, and I'm actually doing it within the engine based on the actual position of the chunks. But still, like I have way too much stuff. We can't see anything right now. Anyway, it's just a test. Yeah, I think the backlight that I tie to the chunk can look really good sometimes. Still need to adjust the lighting of the scene, obviously. Yep. All right. Yeah, see, like what I had right there was mostly like really dark scene, and it's in those cases that I want a front light, right? So I want to boost the front light a bit, but like right now it looks like a hollow in front of the screen, and it's glitchy, and when I turn as well, so maybe I could detect the overall brightness in the viewport, and if it's high, I lower this, and if it's like in here where it's super dark and it could boost it. Like this looks kind of cool to have like a flashlight on the camera because that's without it. Like it gets really dark really quickly. Um, Also trying to play with field of view. When I select a piece, the field of view while the focus should be on the selected piece and the field of view should lower as well. I mean, the focal length. I mean, yeah, the field of view. Sorry about that. Yeah. So at this stage, I believe I would need more procedural ways to to lower and raise the strength of individual parts because I need to adjust the whole thing manually and feels a bit forced and mechanical. So maybe sound effects could displace his chunks, but also lower their strength in the process. So yeah, let's see where this leads me next.